making sure it's public. Oh, right on the bell, as they say. I was timing my burger and egg, which I was frying a bit earlier, and that finished, and I'm watching Shango. I don't know how to pronounce his name actually. I really like watching his channel, apart from the guy digging holes. I just thought I'd mention it because he's a really cool guy to watch. I want to give a heads up, a shout out really to, let's see, it was Shango 066, because he, in my opinion, is the coolest dude on the internet, as you might say. But I don't usually use that term myself, but yeah, because he resurrects old TVs. I mean, when I say old TVs, I mean TVs that have been in a mine for like 50 years. Yeah, seriously. So anyone that hasn't checked him out, I highly recommend you go and check his YouTube channel out, because let me just go to his homepage. At least I think I want to say something in a minute about my Windows XP, because obviously I still use that. I'm going to give you some updates in a minute, but I wanted to just say that I have noticed something interesting recently. So this is Shango 066's about page, and oops, he goes down mines. He resurrects vintage TVs, radios, electronics, troubleshooting, vintage television resurrection, repair, exploring mines, backpacking, survival, random urban exploration, abandoned stuff, raw videos that make you dizzy. Yeah, and I love it when he digs a TV out of a mine that's got full of, it's basically got a mouse nest in it or something. Oh yeah, gross. Actually, quite gross actually, because he talks about how it smells and all that. But yeah, if you can stomach all that, the rest of it is really, really good. So, and he's fixing a Sony Trinitron at the moment, and I was watching it, and I thought I need to go and make an update video. It's Sunday and I'm bored, but I want to save his video for when I finish this, because I can relax a bit, because I like watching his channel. So apart from the guy digging holes, the other one, let's dig 18. So what's the update? Right, so I designed this new coil support structure. Let me just move my mouse out of the way. There's such a lot of clutter on it, everywhere. Right, let me get my rotor assembly. I'll bring it over here. I've currently got a temporary shelf on there right now, as you remember. Now, I made 3 attempts. Just a minute. I made 3 attempts on this shelf thing. The first one, yeah, I got it a bit too thin. It warped a bit on me, and I had support material, and I couldn't get the damn stuff off. Couldn't get the support material off. It was so thin, and I thought, bugger that. I thought, no, that's no good. So that's a fail. And I decided, because it's trying to get the, let me just turn my phone the other way around. I keep thinking the camera lens is at your end. Right. I hope it's not upside down to you now. Then I did this one, and with the hooks on, which as you can see will let me just rotate this around a bit. This goes between the legs. Oh, that sounds a bit, yeah. This goes between the legs and behind these stands, and then my coil is mounted on this thing, which is that coil there, obviously I have to shape it and put it under these hooks and everything. Anyway, this one wasn't quite right, and this one warped. Right, so I thinned it out. The back is a lot thicker on this new one, and this one's great. As you can see, it's I went a bit more sparing with the acetone. To be honest with you, I think I squirted a bit too much acetone on it, because I sprayed it with the acetone and it got so soft it just warped on me. But I made the back a lot thicker on the new one, and yeah, I'm happy with that. So I've been remodeling. I've got some holes in it as well. As you can see, the holes are for ties to wrap cotton through to tie the coil onto this support structure, so that the coil doesn't basically flop about and it's not just sitting under these hooks. So I can tie the coil onto it to give it more resistance. Now ultimately I want to be able to wrap maybe 2 or 3 coils and pack them all in there. I'll probably use a bit thinner wire actually, so I can get a bit high voltage on there. And interestingly, when I did the last test, I don't know if I did this, I don't know if this one was actually on a live stream. I don't know if I did this live, but I did another test. I thought, what? So without a load, that's N for no load, I did a test and I got 1 minute 35 seconds with no load. And I did another test with a load, and we're talking about 68 milliamps at about 0.7, 0.8 volts, right? I got about 68, nearly 70 milliamps. I was running it a bit faster, and it ran for 1 minute and 31 seconds. I thought, holy cow. So I only lost 4 seconds when it was under load. Very interesting. So that's given me a lot of inspiration, a lot of, what's the word, hope that this new design is going to have big potential in free energy research. So anyway, it keeps flopping over because the coil's quite heavy on there. So at the moment I'm printing a new rack to support the top and the bottom. I've printed the new bottom. Oh, it's in here. I need to get it out of here before it melts on me. So it's in the acetone vapour at the moment. I notice it's just flopped down. I don't want it to melt on me. Oh, it's sticky. Yeah, very, it's like rubber right now. So this is the new bottom rack, and if you look, I've got all 6 legs on it now instead of just the 4 legs, because I need these extra legs for the oh, look how shiny it come up with the acetone treatment. Really cool. It's nice and shiny. So I've got to let that dry. It's like rubber right now. This is what it sounds like when it's really soft. Let me just put it there. Now let me tap it with something. Listen to this. A dull thud. It doesn't sound hard at all, does it? Look. It's a dull thud. That's what happens when it's soft. So you can tell when it's soft, but just by the sound of it. And when it gets hard, it will ring like a bell. So that's the acetone treatment. It's come out really good. I had it in there for a full hour, so I need to put this somewhere flat while it dries, so it gets even air flow on it, so it doesn't warp on me. So I'm just going to push it out and stick it on my mat there. Let that dry for a few hours. I'm printing the top section at the moment, the new top section with all the 6 legs. So I'm going to have a new chassis, and I made some adjustments. I've got to print new of these legs because I made the holes further apart to give me a bit more room, so that this new canopy which supports the coil isn't going to rub against the drum, because I've had to move things apart a little bit to give me some room to put the canopy in there, because there isn't a great deal of clearance really between the drum rotor and the top drum rotor, so I wanted a bit more clearance, so I had to extend the legs, the holes further apart. Oh, So, some good news. And do you remember when I weighed the new drum? Do you remember when I weighed the new drum about, was it 3 days ago now? And the weight was 68.5 grams. Right, that's the new drum over here. Right, the one that I made out of 3 sections. And oh, where do I put my nail file now? Oh, it's down here somewhere. Right, listen how hard it is. Very hard. Right, remember it was 65.8 grams, and I said that we needed to wait a few days for it to dry out, and the best way to test how well it's dried out is to weigh it, because as it loses acetone vapor, as it dries out it will get lighter. So I weighed it early today, but let's weigh it again and see how much weight it's lost. So it was 68.5 and now it's 68.2. So it's lost 0.3 grams of acetone vapor. That's quite a lot. 68.2. I just want to do it 1 or 2 times to verify it. Yeah, 68.2 grams. So all these bits of, yeah, so that's what it was before, 68.5. So it's lost 0.3 grams of weight in the last 3 days. So, and I checked it this morning, I checked it again today later on, and it hasn't changed. It's still 68.2. That's telling me that this is dried enough. I don't think it's going to dry out much more. So when I reassemble this new assembly, when I put the new rack on the top and the bottom, I'm going to be using the new drum. So it'll be a lot better. We won't have all that horrible rubbish. Oh god, that does sound hard compared to what it did before. Yeah, so I think that's it for now. Oh, the other thing as well I meant to say, when I was adjusting my lamination assemblies that are in the segments that are in here, I optimised them for the external coil. If you remember that the coil that was sitting in the front down there, well, in theory these old ones will still work, so I can use the old ones and the new ones for this configuration of coil. In fact, the older ones might actually work better for the coil that's mounted on this structure, because I'll tell you why. Is because the coils will be closer together. That is, the coil on this side and the coil on that side will be a bit closer together. So using this one, these older ones which I made, I can just drop them in and try them out as well. So the new ones, I had the flux guided further out on the steel yeah. Oh, mind you, I'll probably stick with the new ones for now though. So I couldn't add too much extra height on it because I'm still using that short drive shaft that goes through the middle, and it's a little bit short. I need to either go and cannibalise one of my other projects and cut a piece of drive shaft off it. I've got a few options. I could do that, but I'd prefer to. I could cannibalise my air vacuum thing that I designed and 3D printed, which is I'd have to take this apart. I've got, oops, damn it, It's right in there, the drive shaft. I could take the shaft out of here and cut that one up. I don't like doing that really, because this is a research and development. I don't know if you remember this, but this is my centrifugal fan assembly. I actually pinched one drive shaft out of here. Every stage on here has got these centrifugal fans on it, and I kind of left them in stasis so that they wouldn't warp, because I used acetone on them years ago. It'll be last year now, I think. Look at all them. It was an experiment in how much extra torque, pressure I could accomplish using all these. Yeah. But anyway, it's something I'll go revisit someday, but not for the moment, because I'm more excited about this thing at the moment. Yeah. So anyway, I'm letting this dry, and then I'm going to have to reshape my coil a bit, mount it on this frame, tie it in place, and then I'll be able to just clip it under the legs when I get this new one assembled. So yeah, I was very interested in to see that this has virtually no drag on it at all. I need to get it set up so that I've got a longer shaft on it, then I can hook a pulley and a motor to drive it at a constant speed, and then it'll be a lot easier to see the speed change on it when it's under load. And that's what I really want to. That's really what I'm going to be doing at some point. And then I can get my RPM meter, which is across the room over there. And then I can get my RPM meter and the sensor, which is on this one at the moment down here. Get this wire out of the way. I can get this sensor hooked up to this thing, then I'll be able to test the RPM. Obviously there's no point in testing RPM when I'm speeding up with my drill, taking the drill off and then timing it with a stopwatch, because obviously the RPM is going to drop, isn't it? It's more important than how long it takes to stop. So when you're doing it that way. So yeah, so anyway, it's going to be a few hours to print that top rack, which is top chassis I should call it really, I suppose. Yeah. Anything else updates wise? No, I don't think so. I think that's it for now. Oh yeah, there was something else. Yeah, there was something about YouTube. Yeah, I noticed that we seem to be getting more support on. When I press my backspace button, we didn't used to get that. Now look at this backspace. Look, forward space. We get a little icon coming up. So they're actually paying attention to XP users. They're actually making functionality. The functionality to XP is starting to return again. Yay! Well, I hope it's not just an oversight, but I just noticed that today. It wasn't doing that before, but it looks like they've got some new developers on YouTube that are actually starting to listen to people, because you see, I've made it quite clear on a number of occasions that I will not use Windows 7 and I will not use Windows 10. That will be over my dead body because of all the back doors in it and all the keylogging and all the spyware and all that crap. If Microsoft thinks, or whoever's pushing all this new operating system stuff, if they think they can force me onto Windows 7 or Windows 10, think again, because all I'm going to do is install all I'm going to do is install Ubuntu on a virtual machine, and I'm just going to go onto the virtual machine and use the virtual machine to watch YouTube videos instead of XP if they disable it on XP. So they're actually not going to gain anything. So they need to start listening to people, because it's what the public wants that matters. It's not what they want to push on us. You know, it's like you walk into a car showroom, right? You walk into a car showroom and you say, oh, I really like that car. What is it? And somebody says, oh, it's a GT something, whatever, right? You say, oh, I want that car. Then the guy says, oh, well, I wouldn't buy that if I were you. And you say, why not? Because they're going to stop making parts for that in a couple of years. And you say, oh, no, well, I still want that car. And the guy says, well, you're going to have a hard time getting spare parts for it. Well, you see, I could turn around and say, bugger it, I'll make the parts myself. You know, I'll just make the parts myself. I'm still going to buy that car. And you can't force me to buy something else, you know. So that is the attitude we have to take when it comes to Windows and Microsoft and all that stuff. You know, we basically have to put our foot down and say, look, I want that. I don't care. If you break it, you fix it, because that's what I want. So this is what we all have to do. Otherwise, we end up with something that's got loads of back doors in it, and you end up with mind control chips that stick. You end up with, you plug in a microchip into your brain, and you've got wires coming out everywhere, including, yeah, and then they're basically controlling you, and you don't have control over them anymore. You see what I'm getting at? I mean, we're supposed to be in control of the devices, not the other way around, not having the devices controlling us. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, enough rant, I'm going. Bye for now.